In this video, I'm going to show you the 80-20 on how to use the Empire Flippers platform like a pro and how to quickly source hundreds of businesses and more confidently find the perfect business for you. Let's get into it. Let's say you're interested in getting into online business, but you don't know how to get started, how to evaluate deals, how to look at financial information, and it's so easy in this scenario to just not get started, which is unfortunate because you're potentially passing up an amazing opportunity to have a cash flow asset that currently could be a hedge against inflation or economic decline, or it could be a replacement for a job, or it could be an immediate raise and a monthly income boost. And if you've used the Empire Flippers platform, you've probably noticed that there are several different businesses, different business models, different attributes within those business models, different assets that come with the businesses, different prices, of course. So I'm going to go through how to use the Empire Flippers platform to quickly distill your options down to businesses that fit your specific requirements. And if your sticking point or your hesitation is that you don't have enough money to buy an online business, well, if you stick around, I'm going to go over a financing partner that we work with that can help you purchase your first or a larger online business. So let's get into it. So from the Empire Flippers homepage, you're going to click on Marketplace. And from this section, you'll see a lot of different businesses that currently don't have any filters applied. So we're gonna start by setting the business model for the type of business that you wanna purchase. And in my last several videos on YouTube, I went through a summary of each major business model, the pros and cons of each, what skill set and personality type might be suitable for each. So if you're having trouble deciding on what business model might be right for you, I suggest looking through those videos, but here you can distill your search to the major business models, which include Amazon FBA and e-commerce, websites, KDP and ACX, SaaS, and more. But you can see all of the options here. So I'm gonna choose, I'm gonna choose an Amazon FBA business. And on the right-hand side, you can see that there's a price section. So the thing you should understand about what price to set at is to understand what evaluation actually means as far as the monthly net profit that you can expect. So pretty much what evaluation means as far as the monthly amount of cash that you're gonna receive from owning the business. So the way that valuations work is we multiply the net profit, the monthly net profit that a business makes by the valuation multiple. And valuation multiples are values that we assign on our side, and they typically can range between, let's just say 30 to 45x. Some can be higher, maybe some could even be lower, but to make the math easy for you, you can think 30 to 40x is probably what you can expect. So for example, a business that's making $3,000 per month in net profit, if you think about this as 30 to 40x, that means you're looking at a business that's probably going to cost about $90,000 to $120,000. So it can be a little bit higher than that, but this is how you can quickly set the price that you're looking for, because you can say, all right, the purpose of me buying this business, I want to buy a business that's making, at least starting out, $3,000 per month. So I'm going to set my price range between $0 to $200,000 per month, because I know that that valuation is going to be making about that amount. So you can actually click on the number itself and type in $200,000. All right. So you can see all of the Amazon FBA businesses that fit within that price range. So I'm going to click on this listing, and you can see here a lot of different information. So I'm just going to go through these different sections and what is important to know about the different pieces of information. So first, let's look at when the business was created. So how old the business is. So many buyers like to buy businesses that are older. As older businesses, they've likely survived some major events. So if it's a website, then it's probably survived several Google algorithm updates. If it's for Amazon, it may have survived some terms of service updates. Also, if it's for Amazon, that could imply that it's an account that's been grandfathered into certain, account attributes that are no longer around. Like for example, maybe some older accounts have a larger inventory amount, and any new accounts have a smaller cap. So that's just another benefit to having slightly older accounts, is that they might have these more ideal attributes. Another thing to note is that these businesses are probably in an evergreen niche if they've been around for a while, meaning that they're not going to be they're not just a fad, pretty much, that's going to disappear in just a year or two. All right, so the next thing to look at are the assets included. So some things to ask yourself are, does the business come with an email list or social media pages? Does the business come with any form of protection for the business or the products, such as trademarks or patents? Does it come with any digital assets? Does it come with any other sales platforms? Does it drive revenue in other channels? Are there any other domains included with the sale? Now, the next section is the listing summary, and the listing summary is going to give different types of information depending on the business model. So for websites, it will show where traffic comes from and what the largest traffic drivers are. For e-commerce, you can take a look at the summary to see how the fulfillment operations work, how many SKUs there are, and usually for any type of business model, it might include something specific or noteworthy about any employees that perform specific tasks, something like that. Now, if you scroll down to the next section, you can see the earnings, and here you can flip between last month, 6 months, 12 months, and all time. And one thing to just look at a glance is, has there been year-over-year incline or decline or relatively stable profits and revenue? Is there any seasonality of the business? Like, do you see a lot of volatility? Are there any noticeable spikes or drops at any points? That might indicate something like running out of inventory or a Google algorithm update, or maybe it's just some kind of world event, even like the past 2 years, for example. So that's just some information that you can glean quickly as an indication of what the current state of the business looks like, and year over year, what potentially operating that business might look like, especially if it's a seasonal business. So next, let's scroll down, and you can see the opportunities, risks, work and skills required, and then a few other pieces of information. So opportunities, you can see what if the seller were to keep the business, how they would continue to try to grow the business. And then you can also look at the risks, and these are risks specific to the business model, not specific to the actual business. And this is something that we put just to be transparent about what you could be facing potentially by owning this type of business model, or what this type of business model is susceptible to. Next are the work and the skills required. And the amount of time spent on this work. So you can see how many hours per week the seller works on this business and what specific tasks they perform, which is an indication of, all right, this is going to be either a very passive business or it's going to require a lot of my time. And you can look at the different skill sets. Maybe these aren't very technical skill sets and ones that you feel confident doing, or some might require a little bit of training, which goes to the next part, which is seller support. And the default for training is 30 days of email support and some calls to help with that smooth transition after the sale. But some sellers might be willing to offer more in-depth support depending on the complexity of the business. So one thing I wanted to get into at the end of this is looking at the businesses that have this financing approved badge. So we're currently working with a company named Boopos, and they offer 80% of business acquisition financing, and they're flexible, they're fast, and they don't require a personal guarantee. So specifically, they offer revenue-based financing to buyers of e-commerce and SaaS companies that have been running for at least 18 months and are earning $100,000 in annual revenue. And the loan applications, they're fully automated, and we've already had some buyers on our marketplace go through the process. They secured a loan and they bought a business for $355,000 with just $50,000 down. So if you'd like to acquire a larger business, or maybe put less of your own money down for a business, look out for the lending approved badge shown on listings like this one. And if you have an Empire Flippers account, you can do a filter search for lending approved listings. So after doing your initial review of a business, if you've found a business that you think looks compelling, then the next step is to unlock the listing. And here you'll be able to see more of the details of the specific products, the domain, more detailed analytics, and you'll be able to review the P&L to see a breakdown of the income streams, the expenses, and international earnings. And if you think it would be helpful, I might do a video where I'll go more into detail on how to look at a P&L, how to identify opportunities and potential red flags. But for the most part, the business description, the graphs, and the bullet points, they explain a lot of what is shown on that P&L. And this is for verified buyers, meaning you'll need to become a verified buyer with Empire Flippers, meaning you'll need to verify your identity, liquidity, and this is really meant to demonstrate that you're a serious and trustworthy buyer. And this is meant to be a protective mechanism for sellers. So the next step, if you see a business you're interested in after you've unlocked the listing, you can then ask questions to our sales advisors that will then pass on to the seller, or if it's a large enough business, you can schedule a call with the seller as well. So to summarize the steps, you'll want to choose your business model, you'll want to set your budget range, taking into account financing as an option, review the business details such as the business age, year-over-year performance, the listing summary, the risks, the opportunities, the assets included in the sale. And for businesses that you're interested in, you can listen to the seller interview, you can unlock the listing to see more about the products, the niche, the domain. You can ask questions to our sales advisors or schedule a call with the seller directly and determine if that business is the right one for you. So hopefully that clarified the steps. If you have any other questions about using the platform or sourcing deals, feel free to leave those questions in the comments below and I'll be sure to address them. So have a great day and I'll see you next time.